What's up, guys? Well, back in Florida, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has reported a 79% increase in officer misconduct statewide in 2025. Who was surprised about that? My guess would be nobody. The thing with that is, in 2025, payout was 26.9 million. That seems low for it to be statewide for a year. However, Florida law generally caps liability at $200,000 per person or $300,000 per incident. Any amount above this requires a special claim bill passed by the legislature, as seen in the $27 million approval in 2025. So apparently it has to be something so egregious that you got to go extra steps to get some money. Because for Florida, for the whole state, 26.9 seems low. Anyway, we're going to listen to this one talk about it. And this is from Carlos, and you'll see him in a minute. And so go subscribe to that channel if you want to. And Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 79% increase in officer misconduct statewide in 2025. Here we go.
$378,244 in 4 Fdle to handle significant increase in certified officer misconduct. One of the good things that's happened in Florida is we have an increased number of law enforcement officers over our efforts for the last
That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Less officers.
few years, thanks to you all in the governor's office in that initiative. And I'm sad to say you increase the number of officers and the number of disciplinary issues increase. We have been in the last year going from a manual process and handling those cases to a digitized process, but it is costing funds to do that. We're asking for $378,000 in 4 FTE to handle the significant increase in certified officer misconduct. The officer disciplinary cases rose 79% between 2018 and 2024, which has increased our workload significantly.
Senator Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned during your remarks that we saw a 79% increase in office.
And I'm guessing based on this little sticker on here, and this right here, this is him.
Or misconduct. That kind of stood out to me. Can you explain that number further? And then also maybe if you could opine to this committee, what can we do to hire better police officers or law enforcement officials to avoid this trend of increased officer misconduct?
Yeah, that stood out for me as well. You're recognized.
Yes, there's a lot of details in that question. I think the way you framed the end of your question is where we have to do a lot of work. It's in the background investigation of these officers, and then using the systems to very quickly identify the good of what I will tell you that in law enforcement in a profession, I've got 36 years now in law enforcement, and I have seen a tremendous increase in the education, the training, our auditors and our inspector generals that look at what we're doing. We have technology now through body cameras and through the review of all of their reports. We're able to more quickly respond to allegations and get answers. All of that is helping us to identify these officers that are committing these offenses. So that is where I think is our strength. But
well, what do you do with those officers when you identify it? Nothing. And when they do, they'll resign before anything happens. Then they'll move to the next town over. Coming soon to a town near you.
Working on the general, how these officers behave, that is a very deep question, I think. And it's going to require all of our efforts in law enforcement, all the agencies to address that issue.
And thank you. Thank you for the response. I'm curious just about the data point, though. Which members of law enforcement are included in that data point? Is that the Florida Highway Patrol? I'm assuming there are multiple groups of law enforcement that data point is pointing to.
You're recognized.
Yes, it is actually everybody. If you are a sworn law enforcement officer that has a law enforcement certification in the state of Florida, local, whether that be a police department, a sheriff's deputy, a correctional officer, so it includes corrections, and there's a large number of corrections that are in that number, and then state law enforcement. So all the state agencies, Highway Patrol, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, ABT, all those are included. They go before the Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission for their offenses.
Understood. And then just an additional follow-up, if you could. So do you think we should be looking at issues like body cameras, because you mentioned that in your response as something that obviously protects not only the public from officer misconduct, but it also protects as members of law enforcement themselves to make sure that their record and perhaps their good actions are documented if they're unfairly being targeted or accused of misconduct. I know that the Florida Highway Patrol, though, while they have dash cams, they do not have body cameras.
They should not have dash cams, they should not have body cams, and that shit should be streamed 24/7. I mean, the taxpayers, us the taxpayers are paying for it. Why can't we see it?
As do many other members of law enforcement in other jurisdictions. Is that something that we should look at, perhaps allowing for the use of body cameras with Florida Highway Patrol, for example?
I think each agency needs to address that themselves and needs to, as far as how they work. I can tell you just from the last year and a half, I actually was over this section that supported the staffing of the Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission. And a large majority of these cases, I don't know that body cameras would have brought any more evidence to, because it could be off-duty violations, it could be a DUI, which is something, it could be a domestic violence, it could be theft, it could be a lot of other offenses that body cameras wouldn't have applied at all there because they would have been off-duty. And even when they're on duty, a lot of the allegations are situations that may be internal, working with other employees, and just to further explain the process, each agency has their own internal affairs.
He knows where Carlos is going with this. He's just talking around the whole question.
And they do those violations and investigations themselves, and then it rises up, those offenses that rise up to a Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission, CJSTC as we refer to it, and those are the cases we're talking about. So to get to your answer, I don't know that the body cameras would answer the majority of these cases. I don't think that would solve all those problems. But
permission for follow-up. Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for the context. You have a closer view of the data than we do. So your comments about, well, maybe the body cameras wouldn't have made a difference because these were off-duty interactions. So you're looking at data that we don't see.
Sure.
If you could provide the data that brings you to the conclusion that we have a 79% increase in officer misconduct, we would love to see that, please. And then also, I suppose my final question is, what role do you believe masking plays in officer misconduct? We've seen an increase not only in Florida but around the country during immigration enforcement activities that officers wearing masks is apparently now commonplace. They're also not being clearly identified.
Officers wearing masks in 2025 is commonplace? Stop it.
These are things that can contribute to officer misconduct when you don't know who the officer is, you don't know what agency they represent, you don't even have their name, you can't even...
Well, they should have a name tag on and agency on the front or the back.
See their face. But also my concern is we've seen that some criminals who have engaged in sexual abuse, robberies, other violent crimes have impersonated ICE officers who were masked in order to shield their own identity and be able to carry out those violent criminal acts. Is this something that we should be taking a look at?
Yes.
You're recognized.
that's a interesting question that is very large. The first thing I will tell you is I can't address federal agencies and what their policies and procedures are. Here we're not wearing masks. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement, but there is a real problem that officers have. the facial recognition that's utilized on the internet now with just using your cell phone camera creates and poses a real issue for law enforcement, where they can take a picture of an officer, identify who they are, and with a little bit of social engineering can identify their family members and find their way to a spouse or to a child.
Wasn't the question.
And that's a real fear. So it's a complex, very large problem. I don't think it's just one perspective. I think it would take a group to kind of look at all the perspectives of that issue.
And
378,000.
is the end of that one. Anyway, that's where we're at with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, I don't know if I said at the beginning, 82% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Click the button and we'll move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I'm out.